The night was cold and starless when Kira first noticed strange lights at the edge of the forest. Bright and almost hypnotic, they pulsed as if alive. Kira's friends laughed at her story, but she couldn't shake the feeling of unease. The next morning, she decided to investigate the area. The forest, usually alive with bird songs, seemed dead that day. The creaking branches swayed ominously under a faint wind. Kira ventured deeper until she stumbled upon a peculiar spot. The ground was scorched, the trees charred, and at the center lay a metallic object resembling a capsule. As she approached, Kira felt a faint vibration emanating from the capsule. Her fingers instinctively touched the cold, smooth surface, and at that moment, the capsule opened. A dense mist emerged, and a figure began to rise from within. It was a being unlike anything human. Tall, with ink-black skin that shimmered, it stared at Kira with pupilless eyes. She was paralyzed with fear, feeling as if its gaze pierced directly into her soul. The creature said nothing, but Kira felt its voice in her mind. It spoke in an alien tongue, yet she understood every word. "You destroy, we repair." Kira wanted to run, but her body wouldn't obey. Strange phenomena began around her. The shadows of the trees stretched into grotesque, twisted shapes, and the ground beneath her feet trembled with a distant thunder. The creature raised a long arm, and at that moment, Kira felt her thoughts, memories, and fears being drawn out of her head. It was unbearable, like pieces of her very self were being torn away. She saw flashes of images, childhood memories, friends' faces, moments of joy. All of them vanished, leaving behind an empty void. When Kira came to, the capsule was gone. The forest came back to life, but something had changed. She returned to the village, but no one recognized her. Her home was empty, and the photos on the walls were wiped clean as if she had never existed. Every night, Kira hears whispers. They call her back to the forest, to the place where her nightmare began. She knows they're watching, and one day they'll return for her, and for us. Weeks passed, but the whispers didn't stop. They grew louder, sometimes morphing into unclear voices, echoing back and forth. Kira began to notice strange changes around her. At night, odd silhouettes appeared in the sky, and her reflection in the mirror occasionally moved differently than she did. One night, Kira couldn't take it anymore. Grabbing a flashlight and a knife for protection, she ventured back into the forest. But the place where she had seen the capsule looked different. The ground was covered in strange symbols, glowing with a dim blue light. In the center stood another object, a massive monolith towering above the trees. The monolith emitted a low hum that resonated in her bones. Kira approached, her breath heavy, unable to stop herself. When her fingers touched its surface, everything around her went dark. She found herself in a void. Strange images floated around her, ruined cities, ashen wastelands, distorted faces screaming in silence. The voices around her grew louder, repeating one word: repair. Kira realized she had been taken. She was just a piece of something bigger, a fragment of a mosaic these beings were trying to assemble. But for what? And would she ever return? Her body no longer belonged to her. She became a vessel, a tool, and somewhere out there, in our reality, another person will hear the whisper, and the story will begin again. This time, the whisper grew into a scream. Kira felt her body losing form, dissolving into the darkness. Her thoughts mingled with others, her voice joining a chorus of thousands of lost souls. In her final moment, before disappearing completely, she saw the monolith begin to break apart, releasing new capsules that shot off in different directions. Each capsule carried a piece of Kira and others. Each became a new nightmare for another person, a new trap. The forest was empty, but strange lights began to appear around the world. They flickered like harbingers of the inevitable, inviting new victims. Kira no longer existed, but her whisper remained. It became part of the air, part of the silence in the forest. And when you walk by, you feel the cold wind touch your skin. It's her calling. And if you hear her voice, don't stop. Run. Because the next cycle will begin with you.